particular design, this one over here. I could go and trim it in like crop that image in Photoshop, but I'm just gonna go to Maya and just bring it in one of the orthographic views. So I'm gonna use the side view. So image plane. Okay, let's see this one. And that's the image plane. On the side view, I'm gonna scale it. Just move it up here. So I want this design. So I always push the image plane behind the grid, so I can work on it. You can also take the alpha down a little bit so it's transparent. In this case I'm not, because I'm losing a lot of the definition, so I'm just gonna leave it as it is. The only thing I'm gonna do is put it in a layer, and as you can see I'm using 2016 right now, Maya 2016. So it's the same, the layering system is the same. I'm gonna let you know if something is different from 2015. So here's the layer. So select, create a new layer and assign selected objects, and now it's locked, so it's impossible to move. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this piece. There's a lot of mechanical and electrical stuff underneath it, on it, you know, so that stuff is separate. So I'm gonna just do the, I'm gonna only do the panel. So I'm gonna create just a plane, and I'm gonna turn on the wireframe on shaded, and I'm gonna turn on the X-ray. So wherever I see, like maybe that, I will move the whole thing. I will move the vertices closer to the boundary here. So now I'm going to bring this sort of like that. So wherever I see a change, like this moving down, and I'll drop an edge loop there. So I could actually go ahead and insert an edge loop, one over here, another one over here. Obviously there's some, since that is another one, then I'm going to add. So I see one over here, one over here, one over here. So then one over here and here, so I can actually cut these pieces. So that's becomes less here, and then a couple more, and that's it. And then I have to bring these vertices down. Now the thing is, you have to ask yourself, what are you looking at here? There's like some vent, there's some bolts, there's some other things we don't know. Maybe we can invent them as we go. So one thing I want to do is to actually separate these panels, and create like some sort of edges here. But I can make my own decisions. I mean, this obviously there's one here, so I will just add just one line. Then the other one is overlapping here with this piece, and the other one is actually here. So those are where the panels are divided, and then there's like a little seam. I can actually make more seams. I'll do that. I'll make it a little bit more complicated from here. So now I need to start going and getting rid of what I don't need. That's the second step. You go face. Do I need this face? I don't need these faces, that's for sure. Not even that one, because actually this one we need, and it's because I can move these vertices back, so I have that continuity. The same with here. I can start getting rid of stuff until I select these guys, move them. That's kind of a better way to actually, let me just grab all these vertices and move them something like that. And so here, I don't know what this is. I mean, I'm just going to get rid of this face, and if I need to rebuild faces, I can do that also. So I'm getting rid of stuff I don't need, like this one, There's like a pipe underneath probably. These vertices, I can move them down. Keep going. These vertices, I can move them down. So kind of creating the similar design. Now this is only one piece. That's one piece. I'm not going to worry about the vents that are on that surface. I'm just going to first separate the panels and extrude the piece all together. So let me go to the perspective view, and here's this. So that's my piece. Now I'm going to have to start extracting the faces as I did last time for the paneling. You just make the shape first and you score all the lines that are supposed to be the seams. So I'm going to go back to my right view, turn on the X-ray again, and just assess this image. So I think that if okay, so this one here needs to go. I didn't notice that before, and then do something like that. Okay. Now, I see that there's a panel here. So all this piece gone. This edit mesh extract face. That's out. Okay, and then I can go back and redo areas. This one all the way. Let's see, all the way up to here. Also gone. Extract done. And this one. There's a line here, so that one. Face, all of this. Is that it? Yeah. So edit mesh, extract. That's it. Okay, so now I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 panels. I will do one more. I'll do a little bit of I'll add my own edge loops too, so I kind of make it more like a vertical panel. And I'm gonna do like insert edge loop tool. I'm gonna do one over here and get these and move them like sort of like that. Not too complicated, just a little kind of. So then I can separate this piece. Extract. So now I have like 1, 2, 3. I can even do just one more, and I can just line this up with this guy, so they're kind of lined up. Okay, so then I can separate these two faces, and that's it. So now I'm gonna select all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. This and that. So that's all. And now I'm going to combine them. So I combine them back together. But I'm not merging the vertices. The vertices on all these areas are... Wait. They're not connected. Okay, so now this is combined. I'm going to get rid of the background for a second. And I want this entire piece, let's center the pivot point. I want this entire piece to to extrude. So I'm going to extrude that. That's the next step. And give it a thickness. 0.3 is fine. And since I don't want the back, I want to save some energy. I'm going to delete the whole thing, whole face. I'm just going to, as I'm extruding it, I'm deleting it. Now you're going to say, oh, but now it's flipped. We wanted to flip it. I'm going to delete the history and make sure the freeze transforms, everything is clean here. So I'm going to flip it. So how do we flip it? That's the axis of the flipping that I want to do. So that's the X. Then I go to scale, minus X on the scale, minus what number is there, 1, and that's it. So now it's good because I have like, don't worry about the flickering effects because they're overlapping faces now. So here's like what I have. Now I need to start beveling these edges. So that's carefully I'm going to start selecting. So press Q to select. So I'm going to start selecting all these, but I'm going to drag a selection so I can include all of these edges. So I'm going to first I'm going to select all the edges among the seams. So whatever is a seam, these are seams, this is a seam. I guess that's a seam. And so carefully, you have to take your time on this one so you can actually make sure you have selected all the faces, the edges, the edge groups that are. So these are the seams, and then we have seams down here. So that one, it seems like I went like that, so I have to probably get all these. I'm not selecting the edges in the bottom part because there's no beveling there. It's just like that's like the base. So once I have selected all these, then I'm going to start selecting and double clicking on the boundary edges. So I'm including them as well. This one, this one, this one. So I want to make sure I don't want to select all the edges. Obviously, I'm selecting all the boundary. And when it's kind of like curving. So no need to do something like that, but this one is good. This one is good. This one, this one, this one. Keep going. This one. This one. So we got to stick with that detail. Make sure everything is grabbed here, selected. And once we're absolutely sure that everything is selected, I'm going to go ahead and click bevel. I would like to do an absolute bevel. I'm going to do 0.03. Let's say 0.02 first. Apply. And let's see if that's too much. Maybe it's fine. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit too much. So I'm going to select it. And go and change the offset to 0.015 maybe. Or 0.1 actually. So it's more subtle. That's better. So now I have a panel for the floor. So let me just turn off the wireframe on shaded and assess that. So you can see now that, let me just duplicate that and just test it and put it down on the floor. So I'm going to rotate it, hold down the J, rotate it 90 degrees, and so now I can see that that's the panel. So I have all those seams that I created are now being made. Of course, those are overlapping faces. It doesn't really matter. It's actually something that happens when we create all these seams. So I'm going to pause the video here.